A Catholic Guide to the Bible, revised and expanded by Father Oscar Lofair, CM. One of the questions God will ask us at the judgment will be, how did you like my book? God's book is the Bible, a work we should read and enjoy. But as anyone who has opened the Bible knows, it is also a book that can be hard to understand. Many have attempted to read the Bible from start to finish, only to be discouraged by difficult passages, pages of names and numbers, unfamiliar styles of writing, and the sheer size of the Bible. It is the purpose of this book to help readers overcome such obstacles by explaining where the Bible came from and what it is about, and to help people read the Bible by offering them a guided tour with background information and selected passages for every book in the Bible. Readers will be investigating such topics as languages of the Bible, literary forms, history, and theology. This will require time and effort, as students of the piano must first learn to read notes in order to play beautiful music. So, students of the Bible must learn the basic of biblical scholarship in order to read the Bible with ease and understanding. Students of the piano are usually advised to practice daily. Students of the Bible who use this guide are advised to set aside some time each day to read a few pages, to look up pertinent Bible references, and to answer questions from the workbook which accompanies this book. You will probably gain more from short daily study times than from an occasional cram session. Father Oscar said, in writing A Catholic Guide to the Bible, I have made every effort to be faithful to the teachings of the Catholic Church. In the many areas where the Church has not issued an official statement regarding matters of interpretation, I have done my best to state opinions within the boundaries of reason and fidelity to church dogma. References to the Catechism of the Catholic Church are given as follows. The citation, open and close parentheses, C 1 to 10, directs the reader to sections 1 through 10 in the Catechism. This guide is an invitation to study the Bible. It is also an invitation to embark on an adventure, to hear the Word of God, to read the very words of Jesus once read, to open the very pages the saints have touched. It is also an invitation to discover that the Bible can be a treasured companion in our journey through life. For once we understand the basic of biblical scholarship and become familiar with the Bible, God speaks to us through its pages. I will have the right answer to that question on Judgment Day. Your book, Lord, I love it. It's guided me to your presence. By Father Oscar Lookfair, CM. What does the Bible mean? That Saturday morning visit illustrates the fact that those who call themselves Christians may read the Bible, but may not understand it in the same way. This is due partly to the complexities of language. We've all had the experience of saying something in an effort to express a particular idea. only to have our hearers misunderstand us. The complexities are multiplied when people attempt to communicate across barriers of time, culture, or language. We speak English. Shakespeare spoke English. But we struggle at the times to grasp his meaning, for many words no longer convey the same ideas they did in his time. He spoke of fathers born, would more likely use the word burdens. A praise that is a compliment in one culture can be an insult in another. An appropriate word in one language might be a poor choice in another. Some years ago, for example, the Chevrolet Motor Company had a model called the Nova. The car was exported to Mexico, where its name caused a good deal of confusion. In Spanish, Nova means it doesn't go. The Bible was written long ago, over a span of 1,000 years, by people who belonged to a culture far different from ours, and who spoke languages we do not understand. The Bible uses literary forms, types of literature that vary greatly from ours. Many of the most important words of the Bible, whose of Jesus, were spoken in one language, Aramaic, written down in another, Greek, and translated into a third, English. Small wonder then that we have problems discerning the meaning of the Bible. It is the belief of the Catholic Church and many other Christian churches that the Bible also has God as its author. This means that we can expect a degree of reliability available nowhere else. But it adds further complications. How can God and human beings be authors of the same writings? How should such writings be interpreted? The official position of the Catholic Church is that God inspired the human authors of the Bible to write using their own talents, abilities, and styles. God did not just dictate messages to them or use them as a ventriloquist uses a dummy. Therefore, we can best understand any of part of the Bible by going back to the time of and place of its human author and discovering what that author intended to express. The interpretation of the Bible will be studied in detail later. But by now, it should be obvious that the Bible must be interpreted. There are those who say that we can discern the meaning of the Bible from the words alone. But the passage of thousands of years and the fact that the Bible was written in other languages for people of different culture mean that study and interpretation are necessary if we want to gain a proper understanding of the Bible. To further demonstrate this point, we need only to look at a few quotations from the Bible. Psalm chapter 144, verse 1 says God, "Blessed be the Lord, my rock." Does this mean that God is solid mineral matter? Or does it mean that God is an all powerful creator on whom we can depend? Interpretation is necessary. Another example may be found in Luke chapter 14, verse 26, where Jesus says, "Whoever comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, and even life itself, cannot be my disciple." Does Jesus mean that we must literally detest our own relatives? Or the Aramaic language spoken by Jesus means something else? Again, interpretation is absolutely necessary.